say new year, new me. No energy for negative vibes. You are the negative vibe.
So it's the person and not the practice. That's what I want to do.
The issue of discipline, the issue of consistency, the issue of persistence.
Once a year, okay, if that's what it is for you, that January, you're finished spending all your money and that's it down.
As much as history has something to do with time, we actually recognize history because there was an impact that was made, not at a certain time, not necessarily about the time.
Yeah.
It's the impact that makes that time very important.
The 100%. How close you are to the 100%, would mean a lot.
Where I'm having issues with that is sometimes people only have time to sit down once a year, and that once a year is at the beginning of that year. Now, if because it's been spoken down on, they discover that people that once a year that they even do that, they don't do it again. You need to have super reflection, deep thinking, and then you decide, you know what, this year, new me. I'm going to cut off.
Check. My check 1 2. My check 1 2. We stepping in what?
Are you ready?
Okay, people. Welcome to Palo Captains. It's your boy checking on the MIC, and of course we've got the gang. Today we are 3, we don't be 2. Yes, we are 3, we don't be 2. Okay, sorry. I'm in the mood of spitting, but I ain't spitting today. Okay. I did say
he has bars.
But I'm not here.
I hope you don't end up behind bars.
We are going to Rama right now. We don't have the time for that. Okay, we've got the man himself. We call him the fire, the cap. I want to call you the capits. We call him the fire, the bonins, the papas, one and only. Money.
Crowd.
This imaginary crowd there. Okay, next to him we have got the one, the only VICDAI. Sorry, did I get it right? VICDESIN. Why is English hard today? Anyways, he has a bishopric.
Hallelujah.
Call.
Yeah, I like to hear that.
About that one we cannot mistake. One and only Vic Designs. In the house.
Cheers.
Imaginary crowd.
No, you have to believe.
Okay now.
We see things that are not as good.
Who are we?
They are. Hallelujah. We call them forth.
Hallelujah. Okay, people, you're welcome to Palo Captains, and this is that point where we say, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to, hit the notification bell if you are yet to do so, because like it is coming in hot. Coming in hot. So be prepared for us. Use the comment section so that you get to let us know what you think about what we're saying.
Hit notification button.
Yeah. With notification bell. Don't miss out on that. That's very important, right? It's very important. Okay. So moving on.
Yeah, so today we have something rather, all of them are important. I just discovered I keep saying the same thing, like rather important, but this one has a little bit of shenanigans to it, and I guess that's why I like this. I like today's topic. Okay, so we want to talk about New Year's resolution. All right, New Year, new me. New. All right, so want to dive into it. Dissect if it's a thing or if it's not a thing. So, bro, let's get into it, man. First of all, I want to look at. I want to take a very good look at Victor. Civic designs is the clear representation of me. And
Right?
he took out his hair, and
He's looking different.
looking very different, very responsible. Unlike before.
I wasn't looking responsible before.
All right. So, check it. What do you think? Effective or not effective? What are your thoughts on New Year resolutions?
See, it's a known fact that New Year resolutions is one of the most unrealistic, things that people engage in, and that's judging from the fact that there's the statistics that a very low percentage of the people that actually set out with resolutions keep to it.
Yeah, research has it that only 19%.
Okay, I didn't know the exact figure, but I know it's a very low percentage, and you can imagine if 100%, just about 19% or even less actually end up sticking to their resolution. So it goes to show that how ineffective doing the whole resolution thing is. It actually seems nice, right? Because it's somehow it's a way of you supposedly setting out with a mission for yourself for the year. However, the issue of discipline, the issue of consistency, the issue of persistence, because for some persons it's a matter of persistence where they hit stumbling blocks or things come up and they just give up. For some other persons, they're not just consistent human beings. So it's different for everybody. There are different reasons why people don't meet up with New Year resolutions, as the case is. So I just feel it's a matter of, if you work on yourself, setting out a goal and try to be disciplined about it, it's better than just setting out a New Year resolution.
Okay.
All right. Checking on, doing a track back on what you had in mind to do, right? Are the projects you set out to do? Were you able to complete the projects? If you didn't, what are those things that made you not complete those projects? I think that's a way of, instead of doing the whole New Year resolution thing, it's not very effective.
Okay.
But having a good assessment for yourself and working towards the loopholes in your previous setback, all right, and probably improving on it is a better move to make than the whole New Year, New Me package.
Okay.
I mean,
So
Okay. New Year,
New Year.
new me.
you are the obvious example.
We're literally wearing white because we're like
Yeah,
New Year,
what is
New
that?
Us.
Black
That's not
slate.
clean slate.
Black
Yeah.
slate.
Alright,
So, in the words of Lasisi, Elenu, he will say there can never
Legendary.
be a new you. Where you are the same yesterday, today, and forever. Amongst your seven people, you are the fake friend. You say, New Year, new me. No energy for negative vibes. You are the negative vibe.
No, that's good, that stuff. I swear.
So, the idea of New Year, there is actually a concept of new beginning, right? Starting again, having an opportunity to go over something again. Yeah, and I feel like it's more like, as much as time is chronological, there's a terminal point for chronological timing. So I feel like it's an opportunity for us to come back and look at the whole frame again and say, okay, this was where or this was what I actually set out for myself the previous year. I understand the concept of New Year resolution. I don't have a problem with people who want to.
Sounds nice.
Do it.
It sounds nice a lot of times.
Very, very nice and modest, right? But I think going back, I've come to realize that the idea of newness it's never about the counting of time. It's actually about the person in the time.
But a lot of times how we get to know history is marking time, all right? To know that you've journeyed, is when you start. Your speed is kilometer per hour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know that you have moved from this point to this point with
Within a
respect to
certain
this
time.
time, right? So I feel like it does matter, okay, that it's a new year or it's a new season. It gives you that the it gives you the mentality, that you're starting up something new, and also it helps you. I like what you said, the fact that you know you cast your mind to how you began the
Yes.
previous time and how
Yeah.
you've been consistent with it. Um, it has been really talked down on, like it's been really really talked down on, like people, a lot of persons don't believe in it now. Where I'm having issues with that is sometimes people only have time to sit down once a year,
To yeah, truly.
and that once a year is at
It's
the
the new
beginning
year.
of that year. Now, if because it's been spoken down on, they discover that people that once a year that they even do that, they don't do it again.
I think it's a matter, like I did mention, that it's a matter of discipline, it's a matter of
Yeah.
consistency. Now, if there's consistency in
Yes.
between,
The,
there
the,
are going to be times where you still track back and check, okay, are you actually on track? Are you pursuing what you're supposed to pursue? But if that doesn't happen, right, I think it's just majorly it's a thing of discipline.
I think this whole stuff is bordered around extremism in teaching. Right. This is going to go a little bit from the original topic we have, but there is this extremist mentality when we teach something. I'm getting you, and if I understand you, correct me if I'm wrong. The fact that you have to wait for a full year to complete before you do a
Yes,
self
before
check
you do a
is a
self-check.
very very funny thing, and it's wrong. All right, you could start anytime and begin to chase something.
Chase some,
All
exactly.
right, but the fact that people decide that I want to start from January, right? This is December. You know what? Let me use this remaining 2 weeks and have good fun, because from January I want to turn a new leaf. Absolutely. I feel like it also have its own impact too. Sure you get. Now, where people now abolish it, kind of takes it from.
I actually don't want to think that people should abolish, or maybe people abolish the idea of new year, new me concept, right? I think that there was a question you asked, or there was something, a statement you made about history, right? And history has something to do with time. As much as history has something to do with time, we actually recognize history because there was an impact that was made, not at a certain time, not necessarily about the time.
Yeah.
It's the impact that makes that time very important.
That's very important.
So
Yeah.
I feel like we should come to the point where, even if we want to say new year, new me, right? Please mean it. Wow.
It still
Like,
boils
mean it.
down to the discipline I'm talking about.
Completely.
It still boils down to
My
the
problem
discipline
here,
I'm
I
talking
don't know
about.
if I hit it where I was going to, is still that extremism. If people want to practice that, I don't think you should talk down on it. Maybe we should throw light on the fact that don't wait till the end of the year to start getting your life.
Definitely. You see,
The beginning of the year,
the
rather,
reason
start
why
getting your life together.
the
But then I also want, I would also think it would be a very good balance if we said once a year, okay, if that's what it is for you, that January, you're finished spending all your money and that's sitting down.
and you're somehow broke.
The longest
The person's
month,
somehow broke.
longest month of the year.
Right.
This is what I think. A lot of reasons why people do the whole new year, new me thing is, a lot of times, okay, let me not say, let me not generalize this. Let me use our own setting in Nigeria, particularly. The end of the year is most times when we have family members come together, you get to see old friends. So that's where people are beginning to evaluate themselves. Oh, this person is doing this other person is doing that. And that's what gives that ginger, so to speak,
sober
to
reflections, a lot of
to want to change their
you know,
their lives
plus
around.
that, plus the fact that RCCG will be fasting 60 to 70 days.
We
No, for real.
So-
So at that point, you realize that you spent all your money during Christmas. You are
listen.
hungry.
and then you need intervention.
You need intervention. So
good.
somehow it just packers you up. It gets you to sit down and you begin to have super reflection, deep thinking, and then you decide, you know what, this year, new me. I'm going to cut off bad friends.
See,
But if we make rubbish of it, then people are like, yeah, every day is every time is every time, and every day is every day. So
it's not every day, it's not every time. Definitely not. See,
invariably, I'm trying to say it's better you start and you fail than you didn't start at all.
True, though.
it's actually good that somebody sets out with a direction for his or herself.
Yeah.
But I also think the effectiveness of doing that should be emphasized.
Yes.
How do we get it to be more how do we get to be more effective at realizing and pursuing
I think that's
that goal,
I think that's a
right?
big
Because the percentage that's actually ends up meeting up to their new year goals and all the likes
very
is too low.
But then it can't
And
tell
that's
you.
that's what one of the reasons why some persons are beginning to not even consider it in the first place anymore.
the
Do you understand? So
the ineffectiveness of a thing should be evaluated before it is thrown away first.
no,
Is it ineffective? Is it ineffective? Sorry. Wow. Is it ineffective because is it ineffective because it doesn't hold water, or is it ineffective because the person that should practice it is not diligent
exactly.
with practicing it?
Person.
It's the person.
It's the
So
person.
the practice is very,
It's the
very,
per-
is
it's
very,
the-
very valid if you ask him.
I think it's that's why I mentioned discipline.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest factors with how the result of the whole thing comes to
Good.
play.
So it's the person and not the practice. That's
Not the
what I want.
practice.
Good.
It's the person. It largely depends on the person.
People have made rubbish of the practice. If you go online, you see people laugh about it and say nothing New Year resolution.
They know
and
they work.
It doesn't work. I'm like, no, it's not about the New Year. See, at that point, like I keep saying, there's something that fasting and waiting for the whole 60 months in January to finish to get the first salary. 60 days, sorry, in January. And it does something to you. And going home and seeing that, okay, this person is now driving a Bentley, and you feel like you would definitely have sober reflection. If we make rubbish of it, then we don't get people to sit down at all throughout the year.
Okay, so I'd like to come in at some point where you talked about we getting to see people do this, and then it draws us back to reflective thoughts.
Yeah.
I feel like part of the things that people should engage in normally is the way I see it is, the way I say it to myself is I actually reflect on my future somewhat. Like I futuristically think my present day.
Yeah.
So invariably, I'm saying that people should learn to much more often sit down and ask themselves questions on what happened yesterday, what is happening now,
Why am I here?
And what they're looking to see
what
in the
they're looking
future.
to see.
Yeah.
You understand? It should be a consistent question of life,
Yeah.
right? I shouldn't wait for.
So what you're trying to do now is clearly state what should bet a New Year's resolution.
Yes.
All right. How New Year resolutions? I like that we moved there. That's good.
So I'd like that people should sit down and question themselves. I really don't need to look at my neighbor to know that to know if my life is moving forward.
True.
Somebody will say you are your highest competition.
True.
So I don't need to look at my neighbor. I think I'm looking at my life and I'm saying,
Is that true? You are your highest competition.
I think the context is what
Yeah, the context
makes
matter.
it. The
It's
context
yeah,
is what
because
makes it.
the truth is sometimes you feel like 100 is your capacity until you see somebody who, pardon for lack of better words, somebody you feel like you are better than, you know, do
Doing a whole
300,
lot
doing
more.
1,000. Then you're like, yo, I was listening to one of the podcasts I was listening to. I forget his name. He used to be a Navy SEAL, and then he said something. He said the U.S. Marine they would push you to your limits, then they will break it, and then you will discover that there is a whole
A lot more.
a lot more. So sometimes it's just how it is. These people, uh, what they call it, healthy competition.
Yeah.
Sometimes so it matters that you see people who it's very healthy if you are in such surrounding.
If
Don't you think?
I think as much as it's healthy, not to
Make rubbish of it. I think.
yeah, as much as it's healthy, I think we should also learn to push ourselves beyond um
External
every
motivation.
beyond the external. I was listening to Layi Wasabi one day, and then this guy made, I don't know, on a TED talk, and he made a whole new thing out of the law of motion.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
saw
I saw that. I saw that
And then
video.
he got to the end of it, and then he said that there's nothing that can actually stop your motion. You understand? If except for the force that is coming
From within.
From within,
inside. So I think that the moment man begins to know that his capacity is limitless, right? One of the things he wants to do is to see the end of himself, right?
Yeah.
One of the things you would want to do is, how far can I go? You get the point? So a lot of the times when all of these things have to come from the outside, there will come a point where there's nobody around for you to see. Somehow.
There's always somebody in front of you. That's what thing. I think it was David Patrick. There's always somebody in front of you. There's always somebody doing better. You might have to search. You might always have to search. You are on a speed limit. Like you are doing very, very well.
Yeah.
Right. I think where I'm getting is where it becomes toxic. Like where you're
taking in the wrong.
Where the only time you get to move is when you see somebody.
No, that would be very bad. That would be very bad. The reevaluation should happen considering where you are going to, where you are, and where you used to be.
I mean, when it's largely about where you're going because sometimes
it's about you.
Where the next person is standing might not be where you're going to.
Exactly.
By that I mean that I don't know. I'm trying to put this with words. The picture is in my head, right? So I know that this person is here, right? And that is actually not where I'm going to. You get? So if what this person is doing is where I'm usually drawing my inspiration from, you understand? It boils down to the part where I ask, okay, then there should be something sponsoring your movement from inside.
It should not be your motivation, but it can be a source of not inspiration. Not inspiration is not the word.
Direction. I think that's the word. It might not be your direction, but it could be your motivation. Like you could use the energy.
Okay. Yes. You're right.
So invariably, I wrap this up. New Year's resolutions are very valid.
Yeah, still valid to an extent.
Sit down with a notepad. It might be
find a way.
Here you join the 19%. We talk about the world's population now. We talk about how many persons are wealthy.
Yeah.
So it's just probably 1% of the world's population. If you build in that 1%.
Just find what works for you. Find the system that works for you that can help you keep you in check to achieve what you need to achieve.
How people do this every month? They draw a pen.
Yeah.
They write what they want to do, and they go after it. It's very, very.
The truth is, if you set out for 100% and you are getting 80 to 90% of what you set out to do, for me, it's a big it's a big plus to your personality. So walk towards the 100%. How close you are to the 100%, would mean a lot.
Super like very important, add it, put it together in case it's it's very valid. Don't party all year. Think about it.
We imparting, man. We imparting. We imparting. I'm parting.
Last year was a lot about party after party.
Right. So you just might be one of the 19%.
Yeah.
So keep trying. Thank you so much.
See ya.
You don't have to finish, okay?
Matas.
Ciao.